All right, Mo Crawler. Today we're going to do another 24 scale tire test. This one's going to be a little different. So up until now, I think this is going to be tire test number 4. So these rock bumps that I'm removing right now, they were they were number 3, and they did extremely well. I was extremely impressed with the rock bumps, J-Concepts rock bumps. These are the 63 mil OD, and I had them on the Class 2 Injora yellow silicones, so the super soft Injora silicones, and they did extremely well. So today we're going to put on the Injora Crawler Tires All-Terrain AT. All-Terrain, I don't know if you can see this, All-Terrain AT Injora Crawler Tires, and they are 58 by 24. So the big difference here is this is the first tire that is not a 63 millimeter OD. So this is the first, and it's not even Class 1, I don't think. If I recall correctly, Class 1 is 57 millimeter OD maximum. So I don't know why this tire exists, because if 57 millimeter OD is the maximum, then making a 58 millimeter OD tire that you have stamped 58 on the outside automatically makes it ineligible for Class 1. And if you can run up to a 63 in Class 2, I don't know why anybody would run a 58 in Class 2. Now, obviously, if you're going for a specific look, if you're going for a specific size, just to fill out, your fenders on a very specific build, then I get it. You know what I mean? A lot of these tires exist for that reason. But this tire doesn't look particularly scaled to me. It is directional, so you can see there is a very directional nature to the tread pattern. So we are mounting them with this being forward, so like that. That's how we're mounting them. But the difference in the silicone is just the diameter. So these are again super soft. So Injora silicones, the yellows are super soft. And the difference between the silicones that we have been using in these tires, and we've used the same silicones that are in these tires and all of the other ones up until this point. But these silicones are Class 1. They're a smaller diameter, so they're made for the smaller diameter tires. I do have brass rings in the front tires and thinner brass rings, so heavier front brass rings, lighter rear brass rings. So it's the same setup, same setup that we've had in the past. The only difference is, again, these guys are a little smaller, and like I said, they're in a weird place. They have basically written themselves out of Class 1, and they are 1 millimeter, so they're 1 millimeter too big to be Class 1 tires, which is really a kind of a strange place. Now, I don't know when these came out. They may have come out before the rule set came out, or the rule set changed, so they may have been, a great option for Class 1 at first, and then they changed the rules, so now they're, outlawed, I guess, so to speak, from Class 1, so now they kind of are a bit homeless. I don't know. I did vent them, so I put a 2.5 millimeter, I'm sorry, a 2 millimeter punch hole, 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock on them. So they do have vent holes. All the tires that we do here are vented. It's the only way to really get the appropriate action out of the insert. If you don't vent the tires, then you're not only dealing with the insert, you're dealing with whatever air you've trapped inside the tire when you mounted it. So to get the insert, because if you didn't vent these, I could put, you know, stock foams, I could put flubs, I could put these in there, and they would all act very similarly, because you're not really dealing with the insert at that point. You're dealing with the air that's trapped in plus the insert, and that's going to change how that all works. So if you're buying inserts, if you're changing inserts in your crawlers, you need to vent your tires, because that's the only way you're going to know if the inserts are any better or worse than any other insert, right? Because that's how you get to the insert itself, is venting the tires, so that you're relying on the insert, not just, or so that you are just relying on the insert, not the insert plus some air, right? So we got these mounted up. These are obviously shorter, so the truck is going to be shorter. I don't know how this is going to work. He may not be able to make some of the breakover points on the board. He may not be able to do anything, and these tires may be terrible. I don't know. They're basically brand new. I think I got them on a set of wheels that I bought early on. I don't know that I ran them much, if at all. I don't remember running them at all, so they look brand new. There's no feathering or anything on them, so that's, you know, they have as good a chance as any of the other ones as far as that goes. But I am a little bit concerned that we're not going to have the breakover to make some of the climbs. So we're going to set up the board. We're going to see how that goes. I've got some paint coming off there on those corners. I guess he's been slammed down pretty hard several times now, so it makes some sense. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're going to set up the board. We're going to get these 58 millimeter Injora all-terrain AT crawler tires, and we are going to test them. Let's get to the board. Left side. Ooh. Well, we're going to try that approach again. They're a little slidey. They seem a little slidey. See, and there's our breakover issue with these smaller diameter tires. I think that's a breakover issue. I mean, he had the grip. He was heading up, and then we bellied out and kind of danced around on our belly there. So give him one more try, see if we can see, they're, I don't know, they're slidey. They're pretty slidey, which I think is not helping with the positioning down here. Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna give him one more go. Okay, on the left side, let's try the center cut. Oh, and he pulls center cut. All right, right side. I think this side's gonna be extra tough because of the breakover, the tire diameter issue. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, second attempt, right side. Try to get way over there, get that breakover. Oh, and there. All right, last try, guy. Let's see if we can do this right side. I tried to go in with a little more gusto, hoping that would make a difference, but I don't think it did. So that's a fail on the left, fail on the right. He did pull center cut, and he pulled it pretty easily. All right, we're gonna start kind of in place for the left cut upper portion, and I have fears. I have fears about the push on this one because he's already kind of pushy. Oh, look at him. Oh, there we go. There's the push. Big push, too far of a push, I think. Yeah, all right. Second attempt, and my fears were realized on that first attempt. I thought these were going to be a little pushy. I'm going to turn in real early. And he's still going to push. But can he pull it off? Now, I'm not going to call that a make. I'm not going to call that a make because I turned in early and that was a little bit of a cheat. So let's try it one more time. All right, we're going to give him his third run. We're going to hit the line more traditionally, and we're just going to see maybe a little gusto. So now I can turn in. Oh, and he already fell off the board. Yeah, all right. I know this is his fourth chance. I get it, but we're gonna see if we can get past that. No. You just now we're gonna go for the slot. If we can even get to the slot, and we can. Okay, our back tires are looking not great actually, but okay. And here, this is gonna be a problem for this tire, I think, yes. Oh, is he gonna do it? Come on, little buddy. Come on, little buddy. Nope. And he fell. All right, that's a second chance at the slot. We're gonna try to get way over because we need to pull that rear driver. Yeah, he might make this. He's gonna make it. He's gonna make it. He's gonna make it. That's good work. That's good work. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with that slot run there. Okay, this is first attempt at middle cut. My prediction is this is gonna be probably the toughest make, if he can make it at all. This is gonna be, and see, I've talked about this before. There are tires that can't do this. They can't get the nose of the truck up this pretty sheer wall. And you see that he wants to go up it if I don't put any steering input, right? But that's not gonna help us once we get a little higher. So we have to pull that nose over. That nose needs to be, so that passenger side tire needs to be there in order to make this. And he's, oh, look at that. Look at that. So there was a lot of repositioning at the bottom of this middle cut. So we're gonna try. So we got those tires over. Now we just gotta try to hold it. Oh, and we might hold it. Now we gotta get over so we can look at that. Look at that. Okay, well, prove me wrong. And now we're gonna go right side. And this one might be difficult as well, mostly because of a breakover and hanging up on the belly. It's more gonna be a clearance issue with these smaller tires than it is grip. But it could end up being a grip situation too, because he's really gonna have to pull hard to get the belly up, without going too far to either side, and he's gonna pull it, I think. He's got one more spot here where he could belly out, but he's just gonna make it. He's just gonna make it. Look at him go. All right, well, I have to say, on the upper portion, I'm reasonably impressed with these tires. All right, we're back on the bench with the Injora All-Terrain AT. 58 millimeter. Like I said in the beginning, this test was a little different because we have a different insert. So it's the same insert, it's just a different diameter, right? This is the Injora yellow silicone, the soft. It's all the same as every other tire test that we've done, only it's a smaller diameter to fit inside these tires. These are that weird 58 millimeter, which is too big for class 1, very small for class 2. Like I said, if you have a specific fit that you're going for, if you have a specific body and a specific fender well, you know, these tires may have a place. If you're not doing any comps and you just don't care that they're, you know, they don't make class 1 and you like the looks of them, hey, you know, maybe they've got a spot in your trucks. But for me, I don't know. They did better than I thought they were going to do. They still are not showing any signs of any feathering at all, so I think they would be a tough long-term tire. I think, you know, they're going to probably hold up well. But here is the score sheet on those. So I actually made up a sheet. Kind of cool, huh? They got a 41 out of 70, and I would say that that's not great, right? I think the 56 is the highest we've gotten, but it takes a lot to get points in this scale. So the left cut he did not make. I've said earlier in this scale, this grading scale, it's 1 to 10. Yeah, if you make it but barely, that's a 5, and then how well you make it gets you, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you don't make it, the highest you can score is a 4. He did make it fully up the left cut. He bellied out. It was really, I think it had to do with diameter. That hurt him for sure. I think if he'd had, you know, 4 more millimeters of diameter, he probably could have pulled that left cut, but he didn't make it. He got his 3 chances and he was not able to pull it. Middle cut, he basically went right up, so I gave him an 8 on that one. Not super impressed with it. It wasn't, you know, it was still a little bit slidey. These things are slidey. I don't know how else to describe it. They slide a lot. But he did make it up the middle cut. He did not make right cut. Again, he got a 4. He made it high up on there. He got close, but hey, you know, he didn't make it. On the upper section left cut, I gave him a 3, and I gave him a 3 because he pushed out so badly. So he did make it the one time, but as I said, I cut in early on purpose. I wasn't sure he could even make that easier approach. He did make the easier approach, but he struggled with that even. And then the actual approach, the thing that I want to see out of a tire on that section, he could not do, and he failed at it pretty handily each time I hit that approach the way that I want to see a truck climb that section. So the slot canyon, he did better than I thought he was going to do. So we had a little bit of, you know, tire position issue, rear tire position issue on the first attempt, and he did not make that one. But then he made it after a lot of repositioning, and then I backed him down and had him do it again because I said, you know, he got a little extra positioning time there. And so we hit it again, and he basically went right up it. So I gave him a 7 there. Middle cut was probably the most impressive thing that I saw out of this tire. I didn't think this tire would be able to do it. I didn't think it would be able to pull the nose up that sheer face and position the truck correctly to be able to make it up. He did it, and then I thought it was maybe a fluke, so I made him do it again, and he did it probably better the second time than he did it the first time. So I gave him a 7 there. And then right cut, I was pretty impressed with that as well. I gave him an 8 there. He bellied out like everybody does. He drug his pumpkin, his rear pumpkin, like everybody does. But even with these small tires, he was able to maneuver and you know, kind of change positions, shift around with the front steering input, and be able to snake his way up there. So I was pretty impressed with that, actually. Overall, I would say this is not a bad tire. Not a bad tire by any stretch. But I think the diameter hurts it. I don't know what it would be like on the stock foams. these silicones, you know, they feel pretty soft. There's not a lot of bag on him, but they do feel pretty soft. He's got a lot of lugs. He's got a lot of height differential between the lugs, so I think that probably helps him a little bit as well. And the material feels grippy. So yeah, I think it's not a bad tire. I think it's a weird size. I think if they made this in a 63, it might be a decent tire. If they make, if I can find it in a 63, if they make it in a 63, if you know they make it in a 63, comment below, because I'm not aware that they do. But if they do and I can find it, I will definitely test them in a 63, because I think these would be a decent tire. But 41 out of 70 is what he gets today. And that's it for this one. Thanks.